have something to ask you, okay?
Okay.
Was she a rat?
I am what Black Power looks like.
She's a runner, and you a stump.
They say it takes a village to raise a child, but what happens when the village has been running without men for generations? 2 women at a card table, and the one man in the room, he's about to be told he doesn't belong there. This is video 3, the final chapter of the one battle after another breakdown. This one is about the matriarch, where she came from, what she built, and what 3 generations of her influence actually left behind. Let's get into it. Quick note, to give you the best experience without copyright interruptions, our full uncut content is available on Patreon. So if you enjoy our content and want the full experience, support us on Patreon. Patreon gang, salute! Spoiler alert! This video contains spoilers, so you've been warned.
Ain't that a man?
My child comes from a whole line of revolutionaries. And you look so lost.
Pat is sitting there, the father of her daughter's unborn child, a man who by every measure is trying to do the right thing. And this is what Perfidia's mother says to him.
You know you are so unsuitable for my daughter.
Me?
Yeah, you. And that's hilarious. My child comes from a whole line of revolutionaries. And you look so lost. She's a runner, and you a stump. What are you gonna do about this baby?
What? Let that land for a second. This woman is looking at the father of her daughter's unborn child, a man who is present, who is trying, who actually wants the family. And she's calling him unsuitable, not her daughter, not the woman who is pregnant and drinking, not the woman Pat himself described by saying,
It's like she doesn't even realize she's pregnant.
it's like she doesn't even realize she's pregnant, not the woman who is out shooting machine guns while carrying a child. Pat is the problem.
But I ain't gonna hold you. If he treats me different after I drop this thing inside my stomach, we gonna have a fucking problem. Kill him too, man. I kill him dead before he eats me.
Here is what this scene exposes. The matriarch has built an entire value system where chaos is legacy and stability is weakness. A runner is celebrated. A stump, a man who stays, who roots himself, who wants to build something, is mocked. She calls it revolutionary. But let's be honest about what that revolution actually produced.
Women and children first.
We covered it in video 1. Black women marching for illegal immigration. Black women at the front of effeminist movements that were never designed with black people in mind. Black women fighting every battle except the one their own community needed them to fight. And this mother sits at that card table, no men present, and passes that mythology directly to her daughter. You come from revolutionaries. You are a runner. The man who wants to stay is beneath you.
And you look so lost.
Pat looks lost because he is standing in the middle of a generational storm he didn't create and has no tools to navigate. Of course he looks lost. Any man would. But here's the question this scene refuses to answer. If Perfidia is a runner, and she is, and the baby is coming, and it is, who exactly is going to be accountable for that child? The mother points at Pat.
What are you gonna do about this baby?
What are you gonna do about this baby? Not what is Perfidia going to do? Not what are we going to do as a family? Pat, the stump, the unsuitable one. This is the accountability trap that has been running for generations. Women claim the independence. Men get handed the consequences. And when a man dares to stand his ground, when he refuses to be the stump that absorbs everything, the matriarch calls it a character flaw.
Baby, where do you think you're going, huh? Where are you going right now?
Stop talking to me. Now go as I please. You want your power over me the same reason you want your power over the world?
We have no problem with women wanting independence. None. But independence without accountability is not liberation. It is exploitation dressed up in revolutionary language. And it starts right here, at this card table, with these women, and no men in the room. So if this is the legacy being passed down, what does the next generation do with it? What does a daughter raised on this mythology look like when she gets her hands on real power?
This
is what power looks like. See my face? This some set it off shit. I don't want you. I just want your money. Your money pays for my artillery, my supplies, my transportation, my dynamite, my message. I am what Black Power looks like.
I am what Black Power looks like. Let's talk about what Black Power actually was. Black Power was born out of a specific environment: Jim Crow laws, systematic exclusion, a community that had no choice but to unify because the external pressure demanded it. Black Power was collective. It was about building schools, businesses, institutions, families. It was about men and women moving together towards something larger than themselves. What Jungle Pussy is describing is a bank robbery.
I care about what's in this contract with Black America for women, and it's not, we're not mentioned at all in the contract with Black America. And I want to know.
I mean, when you mention Black people, you mentioning Black women, so don't count yourself out.
No, that's not true.
That's like administration say that when they
Black people is not Black women. Black women are not included in Black people.
No, it's but that's like, you know, that's like you saying. That's like when the
There it is. Black women are not Black people, said out loud, on camera, without hesitation. This is the ideological inheritance of the matriarch, a generation raised to see themselves not as part of a collective, but as a separate interest group competing within that collective. And when the collective doesn't specifically center them, they opt out.
I just want you to know, as Black women, how we would feel with, there's no mention specifically of Black women in the contract with Black America.
I am what Black Power looks like.
Jungle Pussy stands on that counter and calls it Black Power. But Black Power was never about one woman seeing her own face. It was about an entire people seeing each other. The matriarch taught her daughters to demand to be seen, to fight for themselves, to source power individually. And in doing so, she dismantled the very collective infrastructure that Black Power was built to protect. And then Perfidia shoots a Black security guard.
Stop fucking moving, man.
Not a symbol of oppression, not a representative of the system, a Black man doing his job. The first casualty of this revolution is one of their own. That is not Black Power. That is the revolution already eating itself before it even gets started. And when it all falls apart, when the arrests come and the consequences arrive, watch what happens to all that revolutionary courage. Watch who gets protected and watch who gets sacrificed. The moment the consequences become real, everything changes. The woman who said revolutionary violence is the only way. The woman who blew up campaign offices for the sisters. The woman who robbed a bank in the name of Black Power. That woman is now sitting in a jail hospital looking at 30 to 40 years. And what does she do?
You can save me.
She calls the government, not her sisters, not the French 75, not the matriarch at the card table, the man with institutional power, the same patriarchy she declared war on. That's who she calls when the revolution stops being fun. Lockjaw tells her the deal: give up the names and walk. And Perfidia,
Because you're in love with me. Yes.
she gives up every single one of them.
Every revolution begins fighting demons. The motherfuckers just end up fighting themselves.
She says it herself, out loud, as her own people are being arrested and killed based on information she provided.
Every revolution begins fighting demons. The motherfuckers just end up fighting themselves.
This line is the most important line in the entire movie because it's not just about the French 75. It's not just about Perfidia. It is the entire history of the Black matriarch compressed into one sentence. Think about what happened to the Black community over the last 50 years. The matriarch aligned with ethnicist movements that were designed by and for white women. She aligned with government welfare programs that replaced the Black father with a monthly check. She aligned with a system that told her she didn't need a man, and then watched that same system incarcerate, destabilize, and discard the Black men she had pushed out. She fought the demons and ended up fighting herself.
This is a new consciousness.
New consciousness.
Yeah.
with the newer generations that was like, we don't want what our parents wanted, we want more. And the desire for more created a rift in relationships. Because it was okay when a woman was making a little bit more money, but she didn't want more than her husband. Now her money translates to her wanting more than he can give her. You know what I mean? And so now she's not satisfied with him. He can feel that and he's not happy.
You and your crumbling male ego will never do this revolution like me. F*** out of here.
The French 75 is the Black matriarch in microcosm, a group of women who declared themselves revolutionary, who claimed to be fighting for something larger than themselves, who the moment accountability arrived turned on each other and ran to the very system they claimed to oppose. Lockjaw is the government. He was always the government. And Perfidia, the chaos agent, the runner, the whole line of revolutionaries, ends up exactly where every agent of chaos eventually ends up.
You like black girls? I love them. I love them.
Useful to the system, disposable to her own people. And then she flees to Mexico, leaving behind a daughter she barely knows and a man she never deserved. But what about the women who stayed, the ones who didn't flee? 16 years later, the French 75 went underground, and what some of them found as a refuge will tell you everything about the gap between the image and the reality.
16 years later, the world had changed very little.
This is Perfidia, Beverly Hills' daughter. I'm coming to you in an hour of need and desperation for safekeeping.
Perfidia, Beverly Hills is a problem that keeps on giving.
16 years after the revolution ate itself, a group of black women from the French 75 became nuns. Let that breathe for a second. The same women who robbed banks, blew up offices, and declared war on the patriarchy are now living in a convent under the authority of the church. And watch how the mythology travels even into the convent. This is what the nun says to Willa.
Let me run shit down to you. So you'll have the towels over here. The bathroom is straight through there. The pillows is right there, as you can see. And don't ask for the Wi-Fi, because we ain't got none. Make yourself at home, Goldilocks.
There it is. The language, the attitude, the posture. Inside a convent, wearing a habit. There is a saying, you can't make a hoe a housewife. And what this scene is really saying is that you can't dress up a value system in religious clothing and call it transformation. The nun took a vow, but the mythology the matriarch installed, the attitude, the posture, the refusal to submit to any structure that doesn't disappear with a habit. It just finds a new costume. Church and religion have historically been used to cover up unresolved behavior, to launder chaos into respectability. But the values being preached don't match the values being lived. And the children watching, the Willas of the world, they don't absorb the sermon. They absorb the behavior.
Do I look just like her?
No, not really. But you do on the inside.
She doesn't look like her mother on the outside, but on the inside,
I don't want to be your babysitter. I don't want to worry if you wrapped your car around a telephone pole.
Well, I didn't wrap my...
I didn't ask for this. That's just how the cards were rolled out for me.
Willa confronts Pat about drinking and driving. Pat takes it, and then, just once, he tries to correct her. She says the cards rolled out a certain way. He says...
It's dice, sweetie.
What?
It's not cards. You don't roll cards. It's dice.
Bob, just off with that, okay? Grow up.
She calls him Bob, not Dad, Bob. And she tells him to grow up. The foolishness. This behavior is learned. Willa didn't invent the disrespect. She inherited it from Perfidia, who inherited it from her mother, who sat at that card table with no men present and called revolution a birthright. 3 generations, same pattern, different costume.
Wow, okay. Well, you look. I like the way you're standing up for yourself. I'm proud of you, honey. But the way you speak to your father sometimes, it's just...
And Pat, the stump, the unsuitable one, the man who stayed, let it happen. Not because he's weak by nature, because the system around him made standing his ground impossible. Every time a man tries to hold the line with his daughter, with his partner, with his family, the gynocentrism that runs through this culture like a current pulls the ground out from under him.
You should tell me what you think always. Never hold anything back from me.
What the fuck is wrong with you?
Gynocentrism, that word needs to land. because it is the operating system behind everything we have shown you across these 3 videos. A culture organized around female experience as the default, female feelings as the standard, female choices as beyond question, and male accountability as the only accountability that exists. The matriarch didn't fail the black community because she was malicious. She failed it because she was operating inside a system that rewarded her chaos and punished the men who tried to create order. And she passed that operating system down to Perfidia, to Willa, to every daughter raised in a room with no men at the table. But here is where the movie pulls its final trick, the one Hollywood always pulls when the woman has done the unthinkable. They give her a letter.
Dear Charlene, hello from the other side of the shadows.
Listen to what Hollywood does here. The music, the tone, everything is designed to make you feel for this woman, to soften the edges, to remind you that she's still a mother, that she loves her daughter, that maybe, just maybe, she had her reasons.
What will you do when you get older? Will you try and change the world like I did? Please send a kiss to your dad. My ghetto Pat.
My ghetto Pat? That's what Pat gets. A nickname in the closing line of a letter written from Mexico, from the woman he stayed for, the woman he protected, the woman he called a hero when he knew she was a rat. After everything, a nickname in someone else's letter to someone else's child. But look at what Perfidia actually says to Willa.
We failed, but maybe you will not.
We failed, but maybe you will not. Maybe you will be the one who puts the world right. This is not accountability. This is recruitment. She is not apologizing to her daughter. She is handing her a mission. The same mythology, the same revolutionary baton, the same you come from a whole line of revolutionaries dressed up in maternal language and cinematic music. The matriarch at the card table told Perfidia she was a runner. Perfidia is now telling Willa to run further, and Hollywood scores it like a triumph. This is the final trick. The woman who shot a black security guard, ratted out her entire organization, abandoned her baby, and fled to Mexico, gets a redemption letter, gets the emotional music, gets the last word, because Hollywood cannot make the mother the villain, no matter what she did, no matter who she hurt, no matter who she left behind. The mythology protects itself all the way to the closing scene. And that, right there, is the most honest thing this movie accidentally shows us. The cycle doesn't end with Perfidia. It doesn't end with the nuns and their habits, or the French 75 scattered and broken. It ends with a 16-year-old girl reading a letter from a mother she barely knows, and being told that the revolution still needs her, one battle after another, just like the title said. Three generations, one question. What did the matriarch build? Not the community, not the family, not the next generation of black men and women moving together towards something larger than themselves. She built a mythology, and mythologies don't raise children, they recruit them. The man watching this, educate yourself, protect yourself, find your mentors and your role models, because they are out there. Men who built something, men who held their frame, men who understood what the revolution was actually supposed to protect. Know what battle is yours and fight that one with everything you have. That's the end of the one battle after another breakdown. 3 videos, 1 movie, 1 truth. Stay locked in. Listen to all, follow none.
Patreon gang, salute! Manager, we working. Protect yourself at all times. This video has officially been highlighted.